Oof, yo, guys. See, I've done all that prep, and I'm not even prepared yet. Sorry, guys. Awful start to the show. Yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again, for another match reaction. Arsenal won, Manchester United nil. Um, I mean, I don't know what there else is to say really. I mean, the season is over. Um, that's it. That's it. The season's over. Yes, did we play better today? Yeah, sure, we did. We did play a bit better today. But at the end of the day, we lost the game. Simple as that, really. So whatever you say, we lost the game, and there's not much more. There's much more to say, really. So really, right as it stands right now, the only hope for this season in quote is the FA Cup final. Because if United win the FA Cup, they not only do United obviously get a trophy, but there's obviously the Europa League. Basically, that's basically be the situation. So yeah, I mean, sorry, 1 second. Sorry, some second, guys. Just a little bit. I'm tired. I don't know about you. I'm frustrated. I don't. It was painful watching this team. I'll be very honest today. I mean, big up, Atonement, man. Evening, RDS, and all in chat. Big up, my man. Big up, man. Big up, us in chat. One up, Sushis Ericsson. Yeah, I mean, that's where it is now. That's where it is. I mean, I'm very apathetic to Manchester United right now. Apologies for the connection. Really should be better now. So I don't really understand what's not being connected or not, but it is what it is. But I'm done. I want the season to be over. The players obviously look like they don't really give two craps. The manager just looks like he is. I mean, that's a debate. That's a debate. That's a debate. Whatever you see, not only an Oli gonna. If you want to keep it stack, what led to the death of Oli Ball was the signing of Ronaldo. Let's keep it stack. Had we not signed Ronaldo, and had we the Casemiro signing, I think was fine. I think if we'd signed Casemiro a season earlier or holding, then it'd been fine. But that Ronaldo signing killed that kind of counter-attack, quick pace sort of thing. It did. Let's keep it stacked. That is basically what happened. But I look at it and I look at the team now. I'm thinking, okay, yes. You look at the defeats. We lost, obviously, I think 5-0, wasn't it, at Old Trafford to Liverpool. We lost 3-0, I think, to City. We lost, we got humiliated. But the reality is that we've had humiliating defeats. I said this last season when people were going on about how good Ten Hag was because he got us third place and he got us a cover because of how bad Oli was. The reality for me was that, whatever you say about Oli, our worst achievements and to our rivals have come when Ten Hag's been manager. Okay, Oli had flaws. As Matty says, Oli had his flaws, but compared to what we're seeing now, exactly. In the first season, we got 7-0 by Liverpool at Anfield, 7-0. Then you conceded 6 goals away at City. Okay, yes, he beat City at Old Trafford. That's something. Yes, he beat Liverpool at Trafford. So you could mitigate it, but still, those losses away were unforgivable to the rival. That's the first thing. Second thing, on your watch, City won the treble. City didn't win a treble under Oli. They didn't. And you had an opportunity to stop that treble in the FA Cup final, and you didn't. And Ericsson and De Gea, and this is why I'm not going to have any of this Onana De Gea revisionism, because the reality is it was a De Gea and Ericsson mistake that gave City the treble last season in the FA Cup final. We're going to be pissed up in the FA Cup final this season, but just remember that for everyone who keeps on going on about Onana this, Onana that, blah 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 blah, it is what it is. It's crap. It's not good, and I'm not particularly happy about it. Not particularly happy about it whatsoever. Noah says Manchester now conceded 82 goals all in the season, their most in a single season since 1970-71. Which, if I recall, I think we won the FA Cup that season. I think Manchester United won the FA Cup that season, but I have to fact check that. But I have a feeling that Manchester United won the FA Cup that season. So I actually don't care how many goals United concede, as long as they win trophies. You know, like, and that's actually the biggest issue, because people keep on talking about the goals conceded. No one talks about the goals scored. No one talks about the goals scored. Like, we barely scored any goals, man. Barely scored any goals. Barely. Hello, Los Blancos. We can end on 16 losses. I know. Hence Los Blancos, man. I know. Because I see United losing to Newcastle, Old Trafford, and I don't know what the last home game is. Is it West Ham? It might be West Ham. I can't remember, but I can see that. I can see it. And yeah, big up the United women, man. They won the FA Cup final. At least United getting some silverware this season, so big up. So, but like, focusing on this game, at the end of the day, you know, Brighton away, who knows? I think they'll probably still cook us, to be honest. I mean, there might be a way at the beach and might get a win, but who knows? I mean, the goal for United at this point is to basically get Europa League, isn't it? Because no European football whatsoever would be a disaster. And Ten Hag, like, if Ten Hag doesn't secure European football at all in some capacity, then he's getting sacked. I can't see how he, you know, even Poch looks like he might get sacked. I can't see how he stays at the club with zero European. Like, you didn't get Champions League, fine. But you can't even secure Europa League, not fifth, not sixth, and he's getting sacked. I'm a really good to, yeah. So I mean, just speaking about the game, big up everyone in the chat, man. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. The subscriptions have been taking hit, and I know that's because I've not been streaming as much. But if I'm honest, guys, it is very, very difficult to watch United play. I'm thinking in the summer of actually revamping this channel and making it more general football related than just Manchester United, because I just can't just do United and I'm a football fan first, and we will be streaming the Champions League, watching the Champions League finals, or watch along, and probably Europa League final as well. You know, maybe even the Conference League, but we'll see what happens. It's very difficult watching United right now. I can't lie. But the question is an entitled. In fact, let me put this in the chat. You know, let me put this in the chat. I'll start the poll now. Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out? I want to see what you guys think. So what should happen to Ten Hag? What should happen? So I'm going to put this poll in the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat. Should Ten Hag be sacked or not? Let me know. In or out? Would you keep him? The difficulty is, I know, and I'm going back to Manny's things, that, like, I know people are saying that Ten Hag should be sacked. But the reality is that, like, I don't think that this ultimately changes Manchester United Football Club. I don't ultimately think it actually changes Manchester United Football Club whatsoever. But fundamentally, what manager even comes into this and succeeds? You know, because if we want to be really honest, the issue of the season started before the season even began. Like, think about it this way, and I'll come to this question in a second. I'll come to this question in a second as well. West Ham play City. I think Ten Hag. Yeah, I have a feeling as well. That's going to be an interesting game as well, because that City game is away, I think, and I know that people think that. I think people are just assuming that City are going to dunk on West Ham. I don't know. It's going to be Moyes' last game. I don't know. That might be a surprising game. Well, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm going to probably get into when I do a more detail about this when I get into my season post-season review, that type of thing. But the reality is that the ongoing takeover stuff screwed United's season. The lack of clarity of that in the summer screwed United this season. And the lack of planning, because I think a lot of people are going to mention back, and I get that, but you've got to take into account the context of the takeover, where the ownership had no interest in what was going on with the team at all. All the ongoing off-field issues of Greenwood and Sancho, etc. No interest whatsoever. And the second thing is that you look at the summer right now, and you look at the signs they brought in to strengthen the squad. Hoyland, who is an inexperienced striker, and we know that Ten Hag wanted Harry Kane. He said that he wanted an experienced striker. He didn't get an experienced striker. He got Hoyland. First mistake. So relying on a 19-year-old to basically carry the front line on. So big mistake. Big mistake. Two, you already know that your marquee defender is injured. We've had injuries with a defense before. The fact that you couldn't get at least a young and up-and-coming centre-back, someone could be useful. We need another centre-back because Varane was probably going to go. So getting a Kim Min-jae, for example, in this team, you didn't get that. You got Johnny Evans at 35. That's another thing. Midfield-wise, we need another midfielder. The answer, and this maybe is probably more on Ten Hag, is how was Amrabat going to? Okay, he's not involved in pre-season. He comes at the end. Not exactly great planning. Mainu gets injured. So you're relying on Casemiro, who's talking as his team, and McTominay and Bruno. And then obviously Mount, comes and Mount gets injured. Although, again, the club and Ten Hag should take responsibility for the fact that this is a player who spent, and I actually said this before Manchester United signs Mason Mount, was, hang on a minute, this player spent most of, people need to, I'm going to cook on Mount in the postseason, but people need to realize with Mount, because Mount got injured again. Mount spent most of his last season at Chelsea injured. Mount spent most of last season. People could say he wanted to leave. He spent most of last season injured at Chelsea, and he spent most of this season injured. So for the last 2 seasons, he's been injured. He's going into his 3rd season, potentially as an injury free. If I was United, I'd cut losses right now. I would cut losses right now and get him gone. Because 2 seasons injured in a row, barely playing any games. And do people honestly think that Mount is going to play more than half games next season? I don't think so. Signing Mount was a huge, huge mistake. And that is on Ten Hag, and that is on the board. So the point I'm trying to make by this is I already see starting this season the foundations of something that was always going to be built on shaky ground, that we're still relying on players, most of whom were here before, were inconsistent, and at the end of the day, the only difference is that we've got a worse attack. Let's keep this stat. We've got a worse attack because Rashford has just had an awful season. Hoyland, and you're relying on Hoyland and Garnacho and Ahmad to do something. Ten Hag felt with Sancho, so I don't know. And yeah, so Tom said, even if Mount plays, he's not a difference maker. So I hope that in the summer, Ineos do something, but I don't know what they're going to do, because United aren't going to be able to spend as much money, because obviously if they don't qualify for Europe, which players are going to be shipped? Okay, yes, they'll let Varane and Casemiro and probably Eriksen go, I suspect. Who's going to come in? I don't know. I don't know. Let me read to the comments and I'll go back into the game. West Ham played, yes, I comment about that. If Ten Hag sacks, who's going to be? I don't know. And that's the other thing, is that we say all this, but who realistically is available that comes in right now? Because remember, originally Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern, all these players were looking for new managers, and what happened? Barca was sticking with Xavi because there's no one else. Liverpool have got this 5-year-old guy who we don't really know what's going to happen with him. But if Dutch managers come to Premier League anything to go by, I think Liverpool should be worried. Bayern still haven't found a new manager. They're on their 5th or 6th choice right now. Maybe Hansi Flick might come back. I don't know. Who else is looking for managers? Chelsea might be looking for managers as well. So I don't know who's available. Tuchel, Tuchel probably is obviously Tuchel is the only manager that you're saying, okay, that is probably with the Premier League that is probably available. It's probably Thomas Tuchel. That is it. Thomas Tuchel is probably the only manager that's available right now that okay, maybe might do something. But aside from Tuchel, I don't know who else is available to take over. Who's good enough? Some people say De Zerbi. I really don't know where this De Zerbi hype is coming from. I generally don't know where it's coming from because aside from the first couple of months where you're like, oh, but then he was found out and Brighton have not been good since. And people saying injuries. Yeah, but injuries aren't the reason why he's getting cooked by almost the bottom half teams, like all the time. So, yes, Tuchel and De Zerbi are the only realistic options. And then if that's the case, I don't think Tuchel's a particularly good league. He's a good cup manager, but league manager, not really. I don't think Tuchel would do any better than Ten Hag with this team. I'm serious. And also, he's quite a divisive manager as well. Like Tuchel's not a manager that's going to come in and make friends. I remember at Chelsea when he got into fights with Rudiger and a few other people. So, guys, don't think that Tuchel's going to come in and suddenly he's going to be friends with Sancho and Rashford. I mean, maybe Sancho with the Bundesliga, everything. I don't know. Maybe Mike's Dortmund, the connection, but he's not going to be a friend to upper management. He's quite a divisive figure. He struggles to get. I mean, look at it. Like Bayern Munich, like, nah, you're gone. PSG, like, nah, you're gone. Chelsea, like, nah. These are three big clubs, and all of them have said, and these aren't necessarily been based on results because Tuchel has done what he can with Bayern. He did really, really well at Chelsea. At PSG, did really well. And they were like, no, we don't, because of his nature. So bear that in mind. It's not just footballing ability winning trophies. He's quite a divisive character, more so that probably equal to Conte, Let's see. There's some we need to clip, but it's not happening though. It's not happening. At least not for a lot of our players. Marshall's gone to some as well. So even more so of a reason. I mean, he's not been able to get fit, but I mean, now you're like, you could at least rely on him being a number. To be honest, bro, like, I don't know. I would start Marshall at number 9, man. I would start Marshall at number 9 against City. And I'm sorry, Haaland. I actually would. Because at least Marshall can get us a penalty, maybe. He might be able to get us a cheeky penalty, and suddenly the game is different. But I would start him because Haaland needs time. And I would, or at the very least, put Marshall on the left. If Marshall was fit, start Marshall on the left. And maybe Garnacho on the right. I don't know. Lisandro Martinez barely played a full game since exactly. More than a year. He did. We should go get Hansi Flick. I mean, again, it's one of those where, like, what does Flick come into this team and do something? I don't know. I really, really don't know. Finishing below that Chelsea's got sacrifice, but I also think that for United, the issue can't really be trusted the years to make the decision right. But exactly. Finishing below Chelsea, I mean, like I said, I'll take it if it means that United get an FA Cup and Europa League. Then yeah, I don't care because I don't care because I'd be like, okay, yeah, we finished below you, but we won a trophy and you didn't. But you finished below and win nothing. That's not unacceptable. But the injuries. Just looking at the stats, as you can see, 14, 15 shots, but only 2 on target, 5 on target. What does it say? We had more possessions, we had a bit more control of the game, but this is the key stat I want people to focus on. 2 shots on target in 90 minutes. So people want to focus on Onana and the defense and Casemiro. And sure, it's been brickish, but the whole defense is out injured. Like, so, like, if anything, we should be thankful that United can continue 1 goal. The whole defense is gone. Doesn't exist, not existed for most of the season. But where are our goals coming from? Where are our goals? but overall, you know, like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If Arsenal somehow, okay, I'll say this before I go to player ratings. If Arsenal somehow win this league and United beat City in the FA Cup final, I am going to be shameless. If now this is a highly unlikely to happen, But if that happens, if somehow Arsenal win the league and United beat City in the FA Cup final, I will be incredibly shameless. I will be incredibly shameless, and I will dunk on Pep and his legacy. I will be shameless. I will be. It's not going to happen. It's unlikely to happen, but I will be shameless because we can't have a situation where Manchester United have had one of their worst seasons ever in history and still win more trophies, more significant trophies than City, Liverpool, and Chelsea Football Club. And Arsenal. No, not Arsenal. Arsenal won league. So sorry. City, Liverpool, and Chelsea Club. That would be unacceptable for those teams anyway. So that's my only caveat here. Big up Rich in the chat, man. Big up Rich. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Without Brim, we created 0. Yeah. But if I'm honest, Rich, we need. I think we can get better. If we're gonna play number 10, I think we can get better number 10s, man. I would really like us. I mean, especially someone like Odegaard. You know, when I look at someone like Odegaard in this team, if we're gonna get number 10 on that type of creative, we can do better. We can do better, in my personal opinion. But you know, we'll see what happens. Let me bring up the player ratings, guys. So let's look. Unfortunately, someone isn't there for some reason, so we're gonna have to do it the manual way. Onana, we lost the game, so let me give Onana a 5. Yeah, give him a 5. No, do I give him? No, actually, no. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. A lot of people pelt on him because he kicked the ball away, but the fact of the matter is, he made a few key saves in the second half that kept the score down. I blame that goal 100% on Casemiro. I'm sorry. You've got to go out. You've got to go out. You've got to go out and not be lazy. You're joking around. Maybe it's not the pace. I don't know. So for me, he keeps us in the game, at least at 1-0, and our attack was brickish. If Ten Hag is organizing the team, does it matter who we sign? I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, some of Onana says with it. Probably. But I don't take that for granted, considering the fact that the amount of attempts that we allow teams to shoot on our goal. I think that's what people need to remember, is that the amount of shots that teams have on our goal is criminal. Like City don't let Ederson get shots on their goal. Most teams don't allow their goalkeeper to have a barrage of shots. Like, I'm not saying Onana is world class, but like, let's at least not parry hit the goal with shots. You know, I think he's had way more, because whatever you say about the whole De Gea thing, De Gea had the best back four last season to help him out. I don't think De Gea does. I think De Gea doesn't cover himself in glory if he stays. I'm not De Gea or Onana, etc. But all I'm just saying is that, like, let's just stop allowing the goals. You know, if someone shoots, let me go back to the stats again. Go back to the stats again. You know, 11 shots, 5 on target. You know, we had more shots, but 2 on target. So even though we had more shots, they still had more attempts on our goal. Like, anyway. Wan-Bissaka, I don't know what's happened to Wan-Bissaka. The injuries, I don't know if it's the injury, guys, but 4. He's not been good. He's not been good. I mean, yeah, but I mean, this is the problem. Is it Serie A tax? You know, is it Serie A tax? I don't know, because at the end of the day, it's like how Van der Beek looked good in the Ajax team. You know, like, and Ten Hag was the manager there. Like, I don't know. You know, is it the league, or is it like the Eredivisie versus Premier League, or is it the team that they're in? Because I watched Onana for Inter in that Champions League thing, and he was really good. He was an experienced goalkeeper. So I don't know what happened. I just think that this team is dysfunctional. And I also think it doesn't help that you've had multiple centre back pairings over the season. I also think I also don't think it helps that basically for most of the season you have centre backs that have zero pace. We need to sign at least a centre back that has pace. Like, Bailly was injury prone, but if Bailly was fit, he would be my ideal centre back. Someone who's got pace, who can make a tackle, who's got the recovery pace, and who knows how to make a tackle and is aggressive. Awesome. We don't have that at all. We have injury-prone defenders and defenders that aren't, particularly some of them aren't good in the ball. You know, so it is what it is. Let's look at the poll, by the way. 10 votes, 80%. Oh, wow. 80% to 20%. 10 Hag out, 10 Hag in. Obviously only 10 votes, but still. Still not ideal. Big everyone was watching on Twitter as well, by the way. So I'm quite people that watch on my Twitter page and on Twitch as well. If you want to, please follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, so I'd appreciate it. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so Wan-Bissaka 4. He's fallen off big. Casemiro 3, 2 even. Guys fallen off badly. I mean badly. Casemiro's fallen off badly. Like, so bad. It's bad. It's so bad how Casemiro's fallen off. He's not a centre back, I get that, but even in the midfield, it's not good. And it's sad, but it is what it is. Probably gone in the summer. Evans is probably not fit, but could only do what he can. Give him a 5. Dallo, okay-ish. 5 again. Mainu had some good moments. I'll give Mainu a 6. I think for me, had a pretty good game today, actually. The midfield, actually, we had quite a bit of control in the game, I think. So I think I'll give Mainu a 6. I'll give Amrabat a 6 as well, I think. The way that Amrabat played today, you're thinking, why didn't Amrabat start more? Why didn't Amrabat start more games? I mean, that is a question. Why did Amrabat not start more? But, you know, we'll see what happens about that. Who's next? Diallo for me was man of the match, in my opinion. I'll give Diallo. Because I can't really give him a 7 because we lost. So I'll give Diallo 6.5. Because for me, thank goodness I saw his tweet that he's not injured. He just felt a knee thingy, so he's taking precautions. That's good. I'm happy about that because for me, Diallo needs to start against City. He needs to start against City, and he needs to start against City, and he needs to start the end of the season. And Anthony needs the whole bench. Personally, he was, in my opinion, you could see stuff something. He was our best player personally, and Anthony can come on and do a thing. You know, that's what I would say. And see what happens. Give him game time. No chance he starts versus City. It'll be Rashford. Oh God. What? So Rashford on the left and Garnacho on the right. Yeah, it's for and Højlund in the middle, isn't it? It probably is going to be that. You're right. You're right. Depending on whether he's available or not, but you know, I suspect Rashford wants Ten Hag gone as well. So yeah. Who's next? McTominay. I don't know what even. I mean, he's not. McTominay is not a number 10. McTominay is a striker or a second striker, but he's not a number 10. He can't create. You know, he can, you know, bomb forward into the box, but he's a second striker, not a number 10 or number 9 or anything like that. So I get it's only 5. Garnacho decision making today was awful. 4 probably. His decision making was not good at all. This was one of his worst games in recent weeks. And Højlund, no service. I'm gonna give him a 5. So yeah, that's it really. Underwhelming, mediocre, but it is what it is. I know. And somehow Anthony's ahead, but I'm not gonna complain about it. It is what it is. It just is what it is. Ten Hag, I mean, 4 maybe, but I think he knows that his fate is probably sealed unless he wins the FA Cup. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's still not. I don't know. I really don't know for Ten Hag. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm of the opinion right now that like it probably doesn't matter because I want to see what is going to happen to this. What Ineos are going to do. Because I think there's a lot of hype behind what Ineos are going to do in the summer, but the reality is that I'm not sure how much they can do in terms of getting these players out and getting a restructuring brand, etc. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of time. And I just want the season to be over, to be honest. It's been a long season. I'm tired. I'm sure you guys are tired. Let's just hope for the best. With that said, it's late. I'm going to bounce. Thanks for those who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for those who will be tuning in later. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to Del Studio. Comment below with your thoughts on the game. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at WeUnitedX, Red Devil Studio. We're also on Instagram and TikTok as well. And yeah, guys, until, well, not too long because we're playing Newcastle midweek, aren't we? Until next time, guys, have a nice day. Big up, Tournament, and cheers. Peace out. Peace.